Hello and welcome to Love Anything Art. Today I'll show you how I made this necklace. These are all of the colors I will be using in the project, minus 2 colors, which I will show you in a little while. But basically, just pick any colors you think that look good together. I'm using an orange, a light pink, this lemonade yellow, this really pretty red with some glitter in it, and this teal blue color. And then also this black. You just basically want to take a color that's dark in comparison to all of your other colors, because the black is what we will be wrapping around each of our tubes. So for each of our colors that we picked out, we'll just need to cut off a section of it. You actually don't need a lot, so that's what's kind of nice about this project too. You don't have to use a lot of clay. Cut off a piece and condition it a little bit. And then you'll want to start rolling it into a long tube. And I recommend using a piece of paper to do the rolling. It'll help give you a nice even roll and also absorb some of the oils from the clay versus just doing it on a flat surface. This will help keep it smooth and help you get a better tube shape. Or so I found anyway. These are each of my colors. I've rolled them all out. They're ready to go. Now I'm just going to cut them all down to the same size. Like I said, you don't need a lot of clay. Basically, just cut away all the excess there. Also, welcome to my channel. I'm so glad that you stopped by, and I hope you enjoy this video, and hopefully you decide to subscribe to my channel. I have quite a few videos that I think that you'll enjoy. I'm going to take that black clay, and I've rolled it out with my roller, and now I'm going to put it through my pasta machine. I will do that on the thickest setting. And then I will take it one setting down and then roll it through again. And you'll basically want to just keep rolling it through, just going one setting down at a time. This will help you from getting your clay all warped, which it starts to at the very last time I go through, and I'll show that to you. But basically just keep going through and get it as thin as you can with your pasta machine. And just to kind of show you how thin it is currently, I am going to try to go down one more. And then I'll show you, because it does start to get all wobbly. Here's a little bit now. And my clay did get a little stuck together, but luckily it wasn't too warm in my room, so I peeled it apart. And you can kind of see there that it's starting to get all wobbly and distorted just a little bit, but that'll work. I'll take that over to my surface here, and using a piece of scratch paper, I'll place my clay on there and then continue rolling it out to get it a little bit thinner. Just hold your clay on one end, and this will help turning around your piece too. And then just give it a nice gentle roll in the opposite direction there. Hold on to it the one side, give it a nice gentle roll, opposite direction. And keep going until you have your clay as thin as you want it. And you can kind of see how thin it is. That's gonna work for what I'm going to be doing. and I did remove that from my paper, and I actually got distracted and called away from my workstation, so it sat on my paper for probably about an hour or so, so some of those oils did come out of the clay, but I actually liked it that way because it made the black clay a little bit firmer, so this will help when cutting and rolling to keep everything kind of in place so that it doesn't get all mushy. So if you want to try that out too, just leave it on a piece of paper for a little while, go get distracted and come back. So I'm going to take each one of my colors and place it on my black clay and roll it up. Since they are all the same size, I will just cut away all of the excess black clay. And that way, they're the same length. So then I just place my colors of clay on there, roll it up. And when you roll it up, take it all the way to the other side and gently roll and tap it onto the black clay. And then when you roll it away, you'll be able to see the line. And then you can just make your cut mark and roll it up so that you don't have any overlapping of clay. Just pinch all the edges together and then do give it a gentle roll on your work surface. Alright, I have all of my colors. I really like the way these kind of look. Look very interesting and colorful. I'm going to line each of those up since they are the same length. Make sure the ends match up, and I will cut it down into even-sized pieces. Do have some cat hairs there. Can't avoid those when you have a cat. But basically just give it a nice slice and then pick up your clay, move it over, make sure it's lined up. Just using the edge of my tissue blade for that, and continue cutting until you've used all of your clay. And these little pieces here are too small to do any more cutting, so save those scraps for future scrap clay projects. Ah, beautiful colors. I'm going to use some of this tan color for the outside coating of my clay. So I'm just going to cut off a piece and roll it through my pasta machine, getting it as thin as I can. And this is it. Just to kind of show you how thin it is. It's pretty much as thin as the black clay, maybe a little bit thinner. But I'm going to set that aside for now, and I will come back to this in a moment. With all of my cut sections, just want to start placing them together, hopefully with no gaps in between where they are joining. So just gently start pressing them all together, very, very gently. Once you have all of your pieces used, or as many as you can, you do want it to be in a round shape. If you have any additional ones, just set those aside. Once you have it into that round shape, just gently start pressing in on the sides, giving it a quick gentle roll, making sure to keep your ends flat and pressing in the center. And I did take quite a few minutes to do this, probably about 15 or so. I want it to go very, very slowly to reduce this cane. And in the end, it came out really good. Didn't look all squished and mushed, so I just took my time very slowly, and I'm getting there. Just pinching the ends in very slowly. And I reduced it down to this size, cut away the excess clay on the end there. And you see it's about the length of a finger. Save all those scrap clay pieces, guys. Fun times. Just gonna roll it just a little bit, very gently. All right, we're going back to that tan clay. And it is kind of long because my original intent with the tan clay was to wrap each one of my tubes in this. But in the end, I did decide just to do one big wrap around the entire piece instead of the individual pieces. But that's okay. I'm going to use this twice, so this is the first roll with it. Once you got it cut down to size, just roll it up, cut away any excess clay, and then just gently roll to get everything nice and smooth and stuck together, joined, no air bubbles. And then I really liked this green color. I thought it kind of made things pop a little bit. So I wrapped it in that green clay. And then again, I'm going to wrap it in that tan color again. And then I will gently slice off some pieces. And I did let this set overnight because it was kind of late and I was tired, so this is the next day. So I did let it set there for a while. And you'll see that's about how thick I cut it. And I do want to smooth out and flatten the piece a little bit. So I'm going to place it on a piece of scratch paper, fold over so that it's sandwiched between, and then just gently rub it with my finger. And then I will peel that away, flip it over, and then do the same. And this will smooth out the clay and flatten it a little bit without distorting your shape too much. And this is my little clay disc when I'm done. You want to do that with all of your flattened pieces. I'm going to use this bead to wrap my clay around for baking so that it keeps a cup shape. So just place it on the bead. And then just gently start tucking up the sides until it has a nice flush connection with the bead. Don't worry about the top. We will sand that once we are done baking. And for ease of baking, I'm going to use this little accordion file piece of paper that I just folded up. And this will keep my little beads from rolling around in my oven. So I'm going to take that away, put it in the oven. I did bake it for about 30 minutes. All right, I took it out and I removed the clay from the bead. And it was a little tough to get them off, but just start to break the bond all the way around the edge. Do be careful not to poke yourself. And then remove the bead. And unfortunately, the bead had some kind of coloring in it, and that transferred to my clay. So, in the future, I will try to use a clear bead without any ink that's dyed on there. And I'll show you here, this is just some alcohol ink. I placed it in there and you can see it is bleeding into the alcohol ink. So that blue just came right off onto my clay. But in the end, it actually turned out really nice. It kind of made it look like stained glass. So if you're going to go for that effect, there you go. But I did want to remove some of it because I can't really see the beautiful colors. So you can either do one of two things if you went this far on yours. You can just start over again and make brand new cups using some other bead or utensil to make that cup shape, or like I did, I'm just trying to save the clay and not be wasteful. So I just took a little bit of time with some alcohol ink and just did some scrubbing. So I'm going to sand the tops just to make it more even on the top of my little cup. And then I'm going to take some sandpaper and try my best to scrub away as much of that dye inside as possible. And like I said, it comes out in the end. I did remove quite a bit of it from inside so that I can see those beautiful colors once again. But it did leave a blue dye behind, but in the end you'll see it actually looks really nice. So this mistake turned out okay. Alright, I've scrubbed all those and they're ready to go. And now I'm going to start coating them with resin. I am doing the inside of the cup first, the inside and the rim. And you'll see, putting that resin on there, it just brings those colors right back to life. And they're no longer dull. Just do it around the rim and inside. And then cure that. And you'll see it's nice and shiny and pretty. It looks a little dark in that shot, but I'm going to take and resin the back now. So just place that little cup on your pinky finger, and then you can just start resining the back of it. Be sure to go down all the way to the rim and coat it with a nice generous coating. I'm going to take a pretty, really light, kind of a teal colored blue bead. I thought it looked really good there in the center. And I'm going to go ahead and drill in my holes. I'm going to have to do one on each side of the little cup so that it goes through the bead. Just be sure to do it directly across when you are making your second hole. And I'm going to string it all on this coated wire. I'll leave a link in the description box below if you are interested in that. But I've put most of them on there already. And I did decide to add a bigger bead in between each of my little cups. Thought it looked kind of nice and broke it up a little bit, and also added a little bit more to the length of the necklace. But there's the bead in the center of the cups, and then the large bead on either side of the cups. So I just slide one side through on the cup, and then I will place on my little bead. Tuck that down into the cup, and then just put your wire through the other side. And then be sure to end it with a large bead. Now you can cut down your wire to the size that you need. And then just place on your crimp bead cover and your crimp bead. Close up your crimp bead cover. Add on a jump ring and your toggle on one side and your clasp on the other. Close it up and you are done. This project did not turn out at all like I thought it would, but sometimes mistakes turn out really beautifully, and I wouldn't change anything about this project. I love how everything came together. I hope you enjoyed it. And just come find me on Instagram and let me see what you make. Also, please hit that subscribe button and join the community. And leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think of this project. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!